In today's news, government breaks ground for the new ESLYN Henry Learning Facility. BVI Chamber of Commerce seeks to advocate for BVI businesses. The Virgin Gorda Airport to close for maintenance, and the public is advised to use one passport when traveling. BVI senior squash team competes. We have the details of this and so much more when 284 News returns.
Father Jesus, that line here long like church service.
Alright, do enjoy the rest of the day. Next customer line, please. Wait, hold on a second.
Yes, Sonny boy, come, yes, Sonny.
Good morning.
Good morning, Sonny boy. Hold on there. You must stop cut front of people.
It's okay, I'll take care of it.
What? No man to take care of me.
How may I assist you? You want top of power?
You want top of power?
Join the prepaid party with CCT and enjoy more affordable data plans, more top-up promotions, more savings with hero bundles, and more value for your money each and every Tuesday with Top Up Turn Up Tuesday. Visit a CCT store today or anywhere CCT Top Up is sold and top up your phone.
5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30. You want top of power?
Hello everyone and welcome to this edition of 284 News. It is Monday, August 28th, 2023. I'm Ron Grant, bringing you the very latest out of Tortola in the Virgin Islands. A happy Monday is wished to each and every one of you. Thank you so much for joining us. Beginning our newscast on the local scene, a new ESLYN Henry Roche Learning Center, a school that will serve the educationally challenged and the needs of differently able students in the territory, is just one step closer to becoming a reality. The government of the Virgin Islands broke ground for the construction of the new facility on Monday, August 28 at the site of the former school building that was severely damaged by the hurricanes of 2017. Now, the groundbreaking ceremony came after a contract signing ceremony last Friday, August 25th, where the government awarded the project to Atlan Heavy Equipment Company Limited, a local company that specializes in civil engineering and construction. Premier Dr. the Honorable Natalio D. Wheatley, who attended both ceremonies, said he was pleased with the progress of the project and expressed his hope for the new school to improve integration and interaction for its students.
And we look forward to be able to provide services to all the young people in our community, because one thing we have to improve on as a community is equity, to ensure that all members of our society have a certain standard of services, regardless of whether, how you are abled, and regardless of where you live, whether in a sister island of Virgin Gorda, Tortola, Anegada, etc. And it's an area that we're working hard to be able to deliver. So I'll keep my comments short, just to say I'm extremely pleased that we are here today. I congratulate the Minister of Education and her team, as well as the RDA, to getting us to this point. And certainly, I have a great deal of confidence in Atlan Heavy Construction, who has won yet another competitive bid. And we just saw Kyron McMaster win the silver medal in the World Championships. And my cousin Diane knows how to compete, being a former athlete himself. So he doesn't need anything to be given to him. He works hard and he earns it. And I'm very pleased, I would say, with our Virgin Islands contractors, that they continually display that they are fit for purpose.
Education Minister Cherie B. De Castro, who also attended both the ceremonies, said the project holds immense promise for the future of the BVI. She said the new school will provide an education that is inclusive, empowering, and aligned with the territory's mandate to educate all children.
Today, we gather with renewed determination and enthusiasm as we embark on a journey to rebuild the ESLYN Henry Roche Learning Center. This endeavor has been made possible through the collaborative efforts of the Government of the Virgin Islands, the Recovery and Development Agency, and the Caribbean Development Bank, whose support has enabled us to secure the necessary funding to undertake this vital project. I would like to take this opportunity to congratulate ESLYN Heavy Equipment, who I am certain will ensure that this learning center is constructed to the highest standards and upon completion will hand over a modern educational facility. The project is set to commence on the 5th of September 2023 and scheduled for completion on 7th of March 2025. Over the course of these 18 months, we will witness the transformation of this site into a green and resilient learning facility, purpose-built to cater to the needs of our differently able students. The new ESLYN Henley Rochelle Learning Center will provide an education that is inclusive, empowering, and aligned with our territory's mandate for educating all children. Education is a universal right, and we firmly believe as a government that every single child, regardless of their abilities or disabilities, deserve an education that is tailored to their individual needs. In our pursuit of creating an inclusive educational system, I believe that this project is proof of our commitment to eliminate barriers and provide a level playing field for all students.
Now viewers, the project, which is valued at $3.9 million, is being funded by the Caribbean Development Bank and implemented, of course, by the Recovery and Development Agency of the Virgin Islands. Individuals traveling with an electronic system for travel authorization should utilize the same passport to depart and re-enter the territory to avoid being inaccurately recorded. The Office of the Deputy Governor confirmed that some ESTA visa waiver applications were denied due to an issue where re-entrance to the territory was not properly logged, thus inaccurately indicating that some travelers had never left the United States. Following further investigation and discussions with the U.S. Customs and Border Protection, it was revealed that travelers who have entered the U.S. with their United Kingdom passport and returned to the territory using a different passport, including a Virgin Islands passport, may be at risk of being flagged as having overstayed in the USVI. This may therefore affect an individual's ability to qualify for an ESTA waiver in the future. The public is reminded that entrance to the United States is logged using a passport number. Therefore, persons who travel to the U.S. using a UK passport and valid ESTA must return to the territory using the same UK passport to ensure that their arrival and departure both ways have been successfully recorded. Now, travelers should also note that departures from the U.S. mainland to the United States Virgin Islands or Puerto Rico is not considered an official departure from the U.S. official departure from the U.S. and will only be logged upon completing an international flight or voyage to a non-U.S. territory or state. Travelers who are experiencing or have experienced challenges when using an ESTA or are asked to contact the Office of the Deputy Governor of the Virgin Islands at dgo@gov.vg with details including name of traveler, date of travel, and a brief description of their experience. Viewers, up next we have more on the local scene. We'll be right back after a quick commercial break.
When you're in need of air conditioning, installation, repairs, or replacement services, Markinson Air Conditioning and Refrigeration has the professional technicians, equipment, parts, and ACs to get the job done right. Markinson Air Conditioning and Refrigeration carries top brands like Daikin, Aircon, Mitsubishi, and more. We're open Monday to Saturday from 8 a.m. to 5 p.m. Located in Fish Bay. Telephone 340-4114 or 343-9511. Markinson Air Conditioning and Refrigeration, providing exceptional services to the British Virgin Islands since 2015.
Rashford made it. Manchester United have come from behind to lead.
At home or on the go, watch CCT Live. Download our app and carry your favorite TV shows, news, or live sports anywhere you go. Visit cctbvi.com/live, select your package, and tune in.
Looks like Johnny's ex-girlfriend finally found my car.
You've got CG. You're fine. I'll never forget the year those monkeys stole my car. They drove it over a cliff, burned the seats, and carved the words pineapple banana smoothie into all the doors. And that was after they used it for the bank heist. I don't blame them. It's their favorite smoothie, and I refuse to share the recipe.
No deductible for theft, malicious damage, and more. CG Insurance. Good like that.
So you're saying I can ask this cat any question?
The cat is connected to the computer. You just type in the question, it will read his mind. There the answer comes.
You're the man! I've been looking for this for weeks.
Welcome back, viewers, and thank you so much for sticking with us. Continuing on the local scene, residents and visitors to the British Virgin Islands are being informed by the BVI Airports Authority that the Virgin Gorda International Airport will be temporarily closed for runway maintenance from Tuesday, August 29 to Thursday, September 7th. Managing Director of the BVI Airports Authority, Mr. Kurt Minal, confirmed the closure in a media release on Sunday, stating that the closure is necessary to facilitate the airport's annual runway maintenance program. Now, the Managing Director is urging travelers with confirmed tickets for travel during the period of closure to contact their respective airlines directly for information regarding their travel. Mr. Mino thanks the traveling public in the Virgin Islands for their patience and cooperation as the authority seeks to uphold its motto of safety is our #1 priority. Mino also encouraging persons to contact the Operations Department telephone number at 349-8000 or via email at ops@bviaa.com should they have any queries or concerns regarding the closure. Anglican priest and human rights advocate Father Sean Major Campbell recently chimed into the ongoing debate of same-sex marriage underway in the British Virgin Islands and the wider Caribbean. He spoke with myself in a recent Tweet for Media special where he shared the view that as these discussions continue, there is a broader topic that sits on the sidelines, that on the topic of human sexuality.
I often like to note, especially in Caribbean contexts, when I am asked about same-sex marriage, that there is a broader subject that we are yet to address, and it is the subject of human sexuality. We really have not had that conversation in our various jurisdictions. Instead, we have been held hostage by little sayings, little clips, little anecdotes that say things like, God never make Adam and Steve, God make Adam and Eve. And that is the beginning and the ending of human sexuality education for many people in the Caribbean. And this is unfortunate.
Campbell went on to stress that despite the common view that the advocacy of rights of the LGBT community will force the hand of the wider society to conform, that is not the case. He further stated that the fight for marriage equality is not an attempt to make others change their views.
When persons advocate for marriage equality, they are not in any way, shape, or form asking for other people to change their views or their position. So for example, some years ago when it was decided in Jamaica that people should not be discriminated on the grounds of marital status, or when it was decided that common law unions would be recognized under the law, nobody got in a quarrel and fight and said, oh, they are forcing common law union on us. No, because that's not the purpose. If you do not believe in living in a common law union context, simply do not live in it. And if the church does not believe that its members should live in such context, continue to teach that. But it is not our place to seek to make into law our particular doctrinal positions.
The priest has called on the public to be aware of the political players and legislators could fall prey to the tyranny of those he said grouped as the Christian Taliban.
But I think it is important, certainly in our Caribbean contexts, to beware of how the political arm and the legal arms, fall prey to the tyranny of the religious rights and also an approach that sometimes appears to be what I would call that of the Christian Taliban. It does not facilitate conversation. It does not facilitate respect for others. The only interest is we must protect our doctrine. And in protecting our doctrine, we protect salvation and we speak up for Jesus and all these different things. The truth is, when we protect everybody, it makes a difference for the quality of all our lives. Because as you have probably heard before, where justice is not done for any group, any segment of society, justice is actually diminished for all.
Up next, viewers, we have more on the local scene. We'll be right back after a quick commercial break.
Father Jesus, that line here long like church service.
Alright, you enjoy the rest of it then. Next customer line, please. Wait, hold on a second.
Yes, Sonny boy, come, yes,
Good
Sonny.
morning.
Good morning, Sonny boy. Hold on. You must have cut front of people.
It's okay, I'll take care of it.
What? No man to take care of me.
How may I assist you? You want top of power?
You want top of power?
Join the prepaid party with CCT and enjoy more affordable data plans, more top-up promotions, more savings with hero bundles, and more value for your money each and every Tuesday with Top Up Turn Up Tuesday. Visit a CCT store today or anywhere CCT Top Up is sold and top up your phone.
5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30. You want top of power?
That's out. That's 6. That's out.
With great service and fast claims response, we're like a home match that isn't played at your actual home. CG Insurance. Good like that.
My turn. Oh, come on, guys.
Looks like Johnny's ex-girlfriend finally found my car.
You've got CG. You're fine. I'll never forget the year those monkeys stole my car. They drove it over a cliff, burned the seats, and carved the words pineapple banana smoothie into all the doors. And that was after they used it for the bank heist. I don't blame them. It's their favorite smoothie, and I refuse to share the recipe.
No deductible for theft, malicious damage, and more. CG Insurance. Good like that.
So you're saying I can ask this cat any question?
The cat is connected to the computer. You just type in the question, it will read his mind. There the answer comes.
You're the man! I've been looking for this for weeks.
Welcome back, everyone, and thank you so much for sticking with us. Continuing on the local scene here in the British Virgin Islands, the BVI Chamber of Commerce has continued to strengthen its regional ties through advocacy and representation of the BVI business community. Now, the Chamber this year marks its 54th anniversary of existence. A part of their 54th year observation, the Chamber has undergone a number of changes. Recently, chairperson of the BVI Chamber, Mrs. Shayna M. Smith Archer, sat down with me to speak on such changes.
It started back in 1969, where actually the Chamber of Commerce Organization and the Hotel Association came together to consolidate resources, as it were. You know, at that time, things would be a lot different to where we are now. And with that, they forged forward. There were many initiatives that have occurred over the year, including the annual by BVI Trade Expo that most persons may be familiar with, as well as the BVI Spring Regatta. That was actually an initiative that's in partnership with the Royal BVI Yacht Club, the Business Awards Gala, Junior Achievement. We've done workshops, we've had luncheons, forums, many things that hopefully have supported and helped businesses grow, and as a result, because they are the backbone of the economy, has grown our country on a social as well as an economic level.
Smith spoke on what's next for the Chamber as well as their transition to the BVI Yachting and Hotel Association.
What happened about a year ago in 2022, we sat as a board of directors and looked at, you know, how can we strengthen the institution that is the Chamber of Commerce and Hotel Association. And we thought that we'd look into the possibility and the opportunity that was there to actually separate. And we had a conversation with the tourism sector, and essentially they welcomed the idea with open arms. And that is where persons would recall that in May of this year that we launched the BVI Yachting, Hotel and Tourism Association. So they are basically a standalone organization that will work alongside the BVI Chamber of Commerce now going forward.
Now viewers, one major aspect of the BVI Chamber of Commerce is surrounded by advocacy and helping the BVI business community navigate various challenges. Smith highlighted the Chamber's top 3 advocacy areas of action.
What we want to do going forward from this year is to focus our energy in terms of there's so much going on, so many things that need to be addressed, and we touched on some of this at the last interview that we talked. And you know, 5 years, we've gone through catastrophic hurricanes, we've gone through a pandemic recession. So it's something where now we feel that it's important for us to figure out what the priorities are for our business community and what are those things that are going to make the most impact in order for us to move from recovery mode to growth in our economy. So the 3 main areas that we're looking at is around economic diversification and development, where we're going to be championing the cause of having a comprehensive economic development plan. And we're going to roll out actually more details about this in the coming weeks. We also feel that it's important for businesses to have a locally sourced workforce. This again is something that's been talked about, you know, on several occasions over the years.
And on the national level.
And it's very key when it comes to how do we address cost of business, and one of those is obviously employee and your payroll. And if we're able to source that resource basically locally, that helps to mitigate the cost of living as well as unemployment. So workforce development and some initiatives that will help with that. We also want to bring back the Junior Achievement Program because we believe it's important to groom the next business leaders of the economy. So those initiatives will fall within those categories. And the last one would be around regulatory efficiency. So again, there are so many things that fall under here, but I think the main concern is around the reform of public service delivery. You know, being able to access the services that the government and the statutory bodies provide in a user-friendly way, as well as a way that it doesn't take up the time that it's taking up currently. You know, it takes too long in terms of making decisions, whether it's for applications or even for payments. You know, so those are the areas where we're going to start to hone in on going forward, and especially since that we're going to be celebrating 55 years next year. I think, you know, at that half a century and 5 mark, it's going to be very important for us to really rally our business community around where we take our economy to that next level.
And for the full interview, be sure to visit all Tweet4 media platforms. On the matter of sports, the BVI's women's national squash team put in a match-improved performance at their Senior Caribbean Squash Championships in the Cayman Islands last week. Now, despite losing all their matches against Jamaica in their second team match, Zoe Sorrentino and Natalie Faye were able to force extra points in one of their games. Sorrentino fell to Jessie Davis 11-2, 13-11, 11-5, while Faye lost to Karen Anderson 12-10, 11-7, and 11-4. Maddie Attic captured the BVI's first game against Melissa Liu Yang, but lost the match 3-1, 11-4, 9-11, 11-7, 11-8, while Captain Laurie Astrid Willingsworth fell to Jamaica's Mia Todd 11-1, 11-1, and 11-6. The BVI then took on the number 1 seeded Guyana and also fell in each of the matches. Now, Coach Adam Morels spoke on the performance of the team and said although the BVI women were outmatched in the tie against Guyana, they still fought hard. He said, and I quote, "Guyana are the number 1 seeds and are fully expected to retain their title. They came out tonight and they meant business. They were ruthless from the start to finish and didn't allow our ladies to settle. It's of course nice in sport to get the opportunity to win. Sometimes though, it's great to get on a court with the absolute best players out there and experience the very top level. In doing so, you really get a feel for what it is they do well, and you hopefully learn that you yourself can improve upon." Meanwhile, in the men's over 60s individual competition, Winston Finley fell to Mark Seeley of Barbados in his second match of the competition. Morels described Finley as a crowd pleaser, stating that he left it all on the court. He said, and I quote, "Squash is an incredibly physical sport, and the fact that Winston is giving away 10 years to his opponents really does put him in a disadvantage. Winston always gives 100%, and although it was in vain, he managed to find several of his customary winners to the delight of the spectators." Congratulations to the BVI squash team for representing us quite well. Viewers, that is it for today's news roundup. Be sure to follow us for your daily news updates at 284media.com, and of course, like us on Facebook at 284media and 284BVI on Instagram and Twitter. I'm Ron Grant. I will, of course, see you again tomorrow as we deliver your daily dose of local, regional, and international news. Have a safe and enjoyable evening. Happy Monday. Goodbye.